a first impression is important, because if you don't get that right, well, that might be your last impression. I hope I've made a good first impression on you right now. Are you intrigued with the question I have set up? Have I done my job well enough? How many people have clicked off this video immediately? And that is the reason why, out of all of the numbers in musical theatre, it is an opening number that sets up the show. It has the weight on its shoulders, because if you don't get it right, you may not get another chance. But this does beg the question we were always going to ask. What is the best opening number of all time? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have an opinion. I don't know what that opinion is yet. I haven't decided yet. If only there was a way to decide. Oh, wait, there is. Welcome to the bracket. I have picked 32 opening numbers from musicals of all time. There's many in here. Not all of them are modern. Some of them are old. And we're going to battle it out. Who's going to have the best opening number? We'll find out. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Ellie. I talk about theatre. I am the most chaotic theatre person on the internet. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do this. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. But let's see what the best opening number of all time is. Now, the thing is, with a topic like an opening number, where pretty much every musical has one, there's no way I'm not missing like 50 million musicals. If there is any video of this series that I can do a sequel to, it's this. It was very hard, but let's set some ground rules. I am only counting the first song from a musical. I will give a pass to an overture. We can forget an overture. We can include that if we really want to into the opening number. But if you start with a little prologue-y thing, that's got to be opening number. A great example of this would be a musical like Anastasia. That is a musical that starts with a prologue and does a little pre-pre's of Once Upon a December. But the more iconic opening number, and the one that carries a lot more weight, is the one that comes immediately afterwards, which is a Rumour in St. Petersburg, but that can't count. But with all that said, let's dive in to 32 opening numbers and decide out of these which is the best. And feel free to play along in the comments if you want to. They're always my favourite comments on these videos. Oh god, you didn't want to give me an easy one to start with. You just wanted to come in here and ruin my day. Just want to come in here and ruin my day, did you? First up, we have No One Mourns the Wicked from Wicked and Road to Hell from Hadestown. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, guess I've got to make a decision. Let me speak about these. So, look, I think Wicked's strongest element is its music. I think the songs, the lyrics, the orchestrations of Wicked are phenomenal. And I think it starts extremely well with No One Mourns the Wicked. Like, the chorus of that song is so haunting. Oh, it's so good. It's the clashing harmonies of it, and the goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely. I'm not doing it justice, but shush. I think where it loses me a little bit is, like, I don't think the sections that are, like, telling the backstory a little bit are as strong as that chorus. That chorus is strong, though. It carries. But it's not as strong as that. I mean, I like the melody of it. They take another drink of my elixir, but it slows it down a little bit too much. Road to Hell from Hadestown, though, oh my god. I think it sets the tone so perfectly. It's a very different style of musical, Hadestown, and you've got a lot to kind of set up with that. You've got this pantheon of gods, you've got the people, you've got this whole style and what they're going for with this musical. There's so much to do, and I think Road to Hell makes it seem so easy. As they're setting these things up, it's perfect. It's so good. You get Hermes, you get, even before the music starts, you get like the smiles of the audience and the you right. It sets up like a communication between the audience and the people on stage. We're about to tell you a story and we're welcoming you in. You feel so welcome. You feel so, you feel a part of it. It's such a wonderful vibe. This is literally like picking between two pieces of perfection. But if you were going to push me on it, I would probably say personally I prefer Road to Hell. That is not fair though. This next one better be much easier. Circle of Life from Lion King versus 9 to 5. This video is just not going to be easy, is it? It's just not going to be easy. I should have just gave up. Oh God. Okay. The thing with Lion King, and I dub it the Lion King problem, because Lion King starts so well. It starts amazingly. Like, there is no defeating the start of Lion King. With the animals coming through the audience, Pride Rock forming, and that iconic song underneath it, soaring wide, bringing you into this location. The Lion King problems exist because Circle of Life is just so good that nothing else in Lion King can top it. I think it's a hard one to beat, if I'm being perfectly honest. But then you've got Dolly. And it feels wrong not to give Dolly her flowers. I mean, she knows how to write a tune, and the nail clicking, the playing of the nails is so iconic for the typewriter. I love the flow of the opening number of the 9 to 5 musical. I love how you get to meet all the different people heading into work. You get a little taste of everyone's life. In the newer versions as well, in the West End version, you have Dolly actually narrating and introducing you to them even further as well, which is always lovely. We love to see Dolly. But I don't think I can sit here and say that it is better than Circle of Life. I mean, that is the opening number that ruins the entire musical because it's just too good. That is the other thing. Can an opening number be too good? Am I going to go for the complete opposite argument here and say this song is too good that it lets down everything else because nothing else can reach that height? I mean, if we're just speaking about the music, that's more of the staging. If we're just speaking about the music, though, then I would say there's probably enough in Lion King that, you can match it. Like, be prepared. Oh, He Lives in You. Oh, that's a great song. That's a fantastic song. I feel like it's Lion King. I feel like it's Circle of Life. XYs from 6 and 3090 from Tick Tick Boom. This is a slightly, like, these guys are a bit more on par with each other, whereas the last ones were like god tier. These are good opening numbers. They give you a nice bit of setup. And yeah, they're funky. I would listen to both of these songs on repeat. I love 3090. I think 3090 is probably one of my favorite songs from Tick Tick Boom. I think you get a great sense of Larson's style in that song. I really like it. Ex-Wives, I can't say it's my favorite song from Sex. I think it's a great setup, but I think some of the solo numbers in that show do overshine Ex-Wives, and I feel like they get a better group number when you get into the finale of that show. I would personally say I probably prefer 3090. It's close, but I'll give it to that. Hello from Book of Mormon and Good Morning Baltimore from Hairspray. I like Hello. Hello is cute. I think it has some great comedic moments in there. I love the contrast you get from the actual like opening monologue of the show going into Hello. It has like a great beat to it. Yeah, I like Hello. I like Hello a lot. Good Morning Baltimore, though, I think is more iconic. I mean, it has had more time to become iconic. I think you get a great sense of Tracy's optimism with Good Morning Baltimore. I think that's what you really do get. You get the way that she like dances down the street. You get her looking at the things that aren't amazing in Baltimore, but still like describing them as they are great, which adds a great bit of humor within the opening number. These are two opening numbers that have a lot of good comedic value to them. I'm saying Good Morning Baltimore from Hairspray. Next up, okay. We had two that I didn't think were as drastic, and now we've just got another one that feels like you're ripping out my heart. All That Jazz from Chicago, or Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats from Cats. I'll clown on Cats any day. I love clowning on Cats, because it's weird. It's weird, but I'm also weird, so how can I judge? But Cats is a weird musical, but it's kind of enjoyable because of that. But All That Jazz from Chicago, I'm sorry, Cats, you had absolutely no chance here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all that jazz is so good. It's so good. And if we're going with the rule that we're including the overture leading into it, oh god, the second those trumpets start and you hear them, I am available to hire for my trumpet impressions. Is it a trumpet? It's some kind of brass instrument. Saxophone? I don't know. And of course, you've got the choreography, like the fussy, tight knit. I love the bits in the original score as well, where you have the listen. Your husband ain't home. No, your husband is not home. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. All that jazz. All that jazz. I do like Jellicle songs for Jellicle Cats. I do. But I'm sorry, you were against all that jazz. I'm sorry. Oh, What a Beautiful Morning from Oklahoma, or Opening Up from Waitress. Ooh. Okay, I'm cheating here. I am including the Sugar Butter Flower What's Inside opening number into this. So it's opening up and kind of the prologue. I'm including that as one. Is it slightly cheating my rules? Shush. But it won't matter for it because I don't think it's going to win against Oh What a Beautiful Morning. I gotta say, I don't hold that much nostalgia for Oklahoma that much. I like the show, but I'm more familiar with the more gritty revival version of it than I am with the original. And, you know, out of all of the songs from it, Oh What a Beautiful Morning is probably one of the ones that stuck with me the longest. I do really like it as a setup, as just like a tune. I think it really helps to bring you into that location as well. It has a very clear style to it. I love the different elements you get from Curly's singing it. I love when they bring in Aunt Ella. I love that. Opening Up, I have more nostalgia for Waitress, and I feel like that's the only thing that's making me go between the two a bit more. But I think it's nice. I like the staging of what's inside and the little tidbits of Jenna's character you get in there. But I feel like, as a whole, the opening number of Oklahoma is stronger than the opening numbers of Waitress. Into the Woods versus God, I Hope I Get It from a chorus line. Okay, this is fine. I'll make a decision out of these two. It's okay. You know, it's easy. It's easy. Before coming into this video, I was like, I feel like a chorus line is going to go far. And now I sit here and I'm thinking, actually, no, I feel like a chorus line is going to go out the first round because, look, Into the Woods is a 7-minute opening number, extravaganza eleganza for the gods, okay? Like, there is no stopping that. It keeps going. It gives you a nice little sense of all the different fairy tales because you know these stories, right? You know these stories, but the interesting thing about Into the Woods is how it overlaps them and intersects them and then eventually sees them coming to and fro. You have the new stuff in there with the witch and the baker's wife. So it's a nice setup and a reintroduction to some of these stories that you know, giving you the groundwork for how this musical is going to work. God, I Hope I Get It is a great ensemble number. I do really like it. I really do like it. I think you really get a sense of the emotion. Like, you see the stakes that these people feel. They need this. It's not a want. It's I need this. I need this job. And why they may go with the very unconventional style that this director's about to put them through for this audition. But Into the Woods is such an eleganza extravaganza that I've got to give it to Into the Woods. Okay, final one for this side of the bracket. We have Ballad of Sweeney Todd versus Beautiful from Heathers. I'm so sorry, Heathers. Heathers, I love your opening number. You are also a 7-minute extravaganza for the gods. You ain't defeating Ballad of Sweeney Todd, though. That is one of the best musical theatre songs ever written. Sweeney Todd has so much to set up. It's got to bring you into that world of Victorian-era London. It's got to introduce you to these characters who are flawed, who, you know, are about to commit many a crime, and set up the intrigue of this story. And oh my god, does Ballad of Sweeney Todd do it. It's the overture going into that whistle. Oh, God, it's haunting. The orchestrations are so good. And I like Beautiful from Heathers. It's a nice pop musical opening number. But you can't defeat Sondheim with that. I'm sorry. Other side of the bracket, we get another Sondheim versus pop musical. But will this time go a different way? I actually think it might. Because it's Company versus, oh my God, you guys from Legally Blonde. I like Company as an opening number, but I don't think... Whereas Ballad of Sweeney Todd, I feel like sets up the musical so well, and is also just like a phenomenal song, I feel like Company is not one that I go back to and visit as an opening number again and again and again. I like it in context of the show, but I don't know if it's one that I would personally listen to a lot. It wouldn't go to the top of my playlist. Whereas, oh my God, you guys, I think it's just a great number. You get like the cheesiness of it. You get the style of Legally Blonde, the style that they're going to actually subvert a little bit as well. It's so like bubblegummy. You know, it's like sweet to a fault, but I love that. I like how it also raises the stakes a little bit. You get the Bruiser coming in. They've got to go save Elle. You get the scene from the film where she sees through the sales assistant's trick. We get Courtney, take your break. And honestly, that is probably the best thing musical theatre has ever given to us. It was a gift from them to Elle, then back to us. It's oh my God, you guys. I'm giving it to oh my God, you guys. Oh, are you kidding me? No, don't do this to me. No, I refuse. I want to change this bracket right now because I don't want to pair these two up because this is not fair on me because I like these musicals a lot and I wanted the second one to go a lot further than it actually will go now. So I put the prologue from 42 Balloons on here because I want more people to go and listen to 42 Balloons. So I'm doing my due diligence as a musical theatre content creator, subscribe, by putting it into this video and telling you to go and listen to the prologue from 42 Balloons. But then my shuffle button said, hey, do you know what we should put 42 Balloons up against? Literally your favourite musical, Come From Away, and their opening number, Welcome to the Rock. I'm going to tell you right now, 42 Balloons is great. I think it has an amazing 80s inspired score. I love the opening number of the show because I think it sets up the style of it so well. It's tongue-in-cheek in places. It knows that the plot of the show is completely and utterly bonkers. And it plays with that fact. But this is my favourite musical, okay? I love this Come From Away. Come From Away, I think what it does in its opening number so well is the musical doesn't actually tell you when this is set, right? We know the event that this is about. We know what happens and why they are having to take people in. We know the significance of these dates that they're saying. And without even saying what has happened, without even saying what the event is, we see the stories of just normal everyday people during this one day when they hear this news. It's really, really good because you get a really human sense of these characters. They're just people going about their work. And then just something so shocking happens and you see such a significant change in the song as this event happens. I'm giving it to Come From Away. I'm not happy about it because I wanted to promote 42 Balloons a lot more, but come on, it's such a good opening number at setting up, and it is also my favourite musical, so I'm not honestly that hurt. Go listen to 42 Balloons. Hard Work from Fane versus Heaven on Their Minds from Jesus Christ Superstar. I adore Heaven on Their Minds. The thing I like about Hard Work, there's one section in that song where they're all overlapping. I love in musicals when they do that, when they have different things that they're saying and they're overlapping it. It's that whole section where they're like, acting is the hardest profession in the world. Hard work. I like it. It's not bad. But Heaven on Their Minds is just a masterpiece. Oh my God, the rockiness of it. The bang, 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 bang. When you get that plucky electric guitar, the power that Judas brings to that number every single time, the pain that he feels, the warning that he screams, it feels like he's screaming and nobody can hear him. It's some of Tim Rice's and Andrew Lloyd Webber's best work, and I love it. It's going through to the next round. Belle from Beauty and the Beast versus Magic to Do from Pippin. Well, the last Schwartz musical that I really like got done really dirty thanks to its pairing, and the second Schwartz musical is going to get done really dirty because of its pairing. I really like Belle. I love the way it sets up the show. I like it more in the film, though, and if we're speaking more specifically about the musical, I feel like Beauty and the Beast really struggles when you're trying to adapt it to stage. I just don't know what it is about it. But I adore the film, and I think the musical's fine. So can Magic to Do beat it? Oh, these are both really iconic numbers. And I wouldn't say Magic to Do is the strongest material in Pippin, because straight after that, you get like Corner of the Sky, which is just the best. You have like the crowd-pleasing numbers as well. There's so much material in Pippin that is so good. And I like Magic to Do. I just don't know whether it matches the levels of how much I like some of the other numbers. I'll personally give this to Belle, but I'll say it's close. Miracle from Matilda, which is a 9-minute extravaganza for the gods, or Little Shop of Horrors. Bop bebop is going to Little Shop. What I'll say is this. Miracle is great, and I feel like it gives you the instruction that Matilda needs. I love the different bratty kids you get. There's some amazing lyrics in there. I love the parent section. I think those are the elements of Miracle that I really like. But, you know, when you get into like part 2 and part 3, and you're like, well, they're just getting the story of the Wormwoods. Cool. This is taking a while. I'm going to use a similar reason of why I didn't give it to No One Mourns the Wicked here for Miracle. Of like the sections I really love. Oh my God, they're amazing. They're literally some of my favorite bits of musical theater. But, you know, it stretches it out a little bit. And I'm like, when I'm comparing and contrasting, I think Little Shop of Horrors introduces you to the show a bit more concisely. And, oh my God, it's fun. Oh my God, it's fun. Like, the doo-wop of it all. Oh. I think it's so catchy. It just embeds itself into your mind. Yep, it's going to Little Shop of Horrors. Alexander Hamilton versus Tower of Babel. Oh, I feel so bad for Stephen Schwartz, man. Stephen Schwartz, oh, you deserved better. You deserve so much better than the hand you were given here. You may forget that Tower of Babel is the opening number of Godspell. I do, because I always skip it. I was like, oh yeah, prepare ye. Yeah, prepare ye. That's going to be great. That's gonna win. And then I went, oh no, there is this whole other number that I've been skipping off this cast recording for years and years and years. Now, I like the revival of Godspell a lot more than I like the classic 70s one. Like the rockier score that they gave it. Oh, gorgeous. But even within that, like it's okay. But you got to remember, we're comparing these to other songs, and Alexander Hamilton is probably one of the best opening numbers written in the past 10 years. Oh, it's good. And I would never skip it. And I skipped Tower of Babel, so I can't give it to Tower of Babel. It's going to Alexander Hamilton. Vielkommen from Cabaret, or When You're an Addams from the Addams Family. I like When You're an Addams. I think it's a very cute opening to the Addams Family musical. If you've listened to the Chicago version of this song, it's so weird as well. You get a song that's called the Fandango. It's camp. But I think this song suits them really well. It gives you a nice sense of these family members. It plays with the comedy of what they prefer and like the darkness of them, the introduction of the ancestors, and I think it has a great dance break. But Willkommen? Oh, it's Willkommen. It's that weird blend. You're really intrigued about the MC, but there's still that like griminess to it. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. So good. You get the introduction to the cabaret girls and everything, and you get the innuendos. Oh, it's a song that gets better and better and better as it goes. And that is hard for a number that is 7 minutes long. It's going to Willkommen. And finally, oh, I made so many mistakes with doing this one. There's too many good ones. You get Look Down from Les Mis versus In the Heights. I think Les Mis is another musical that is going to struggle on this list a little bit because I don't think its opening number is as iconic as the other songs. I love Look Down. I do very much like Look Down, but I think it's some of the sequence that comes after. Like, I feel like Les Mis really finds its footing when you get to Jean Valjean's first monologue. Like, that's where Les Mis just goes, oh, I know what this is now. This is everything. I like the beat of Look Down. I like the setup of how brutal this situation is for Jean Valjean. I like how it sets up the rivalry between Javert and Jean Valjean as well. But we're comparing it to In the Heights, right? We're comparing it to In the Heights. And I very much like In the Heights. And I think it's another song like Willkommen that gets better and better and better as you go. Oh, it is very, very good. I like the different bits of rap in there. I like the different styles of music you get as these different people come in. It gives you that sense of community. And I think that's why I'm going to give it to In the Heights. There we go. We've done the first round. Let's speed run through it because I have been recording for way too long. Road to Hell versus Circle of Life. How dare you? How very dare you? This is my personal opinion. And sometimes you gotta let your biases come in when you can't make a decision. And I'm saying that my bias goes towards Road to Hell. 39E versus Good Morning Baltimore. Ooh, let's give it to Good Morning Baltimore. I like 3090. I like 3090 a lot. If you were saying what's my favorite song, I'd probably give it to 3090. But I think that Good Morning Baltimore, I think it sets up the show a little bit stronger. I think it sets up the whole of Hairspray a little bit stronger. Yeah. All That Jazz versus Oh What a Beautiful Morning. It's All That Jazz. No competition. Sorry. Into the Woods versus Ballad of Sweeney Todd. Oh, it's Sondheim versus Sondheim. Let's go. Love them both. I'm going to give it to Ballad, just from what my gut is telling me to do right now. Oh my God, You Guys versus Welcome to the Rock. Welcome to the Rock. I love Oh My God, You Guys, and it's so iconic. But if you're asking me what I prefer and what I think sets up the show a little bit more, I think Come From Away has that human element and really gives you that sense of location and timing. And yeah, let's go with that. Heaven on Their Minds versus Belle. If it was including the reprise of Belle, I actually think it could probably just edge out Heaven on Their Minds, because I think that's the one thing that's really missing from that number is that really big declaration of the I want, which is what you get in that reprise, but that doesn't come soon enough. It doesn't come soon enough for me to give it, so I'm going to give it to Heaven on Their Minds, which is rocky, which is great, and really brings you on side to Judas. Little Shop of Horrors versus Alexander Hamilton. This is not fair. This is not fair. This is so rude, and this is not fair. This is one of those decisions where if you ask me tomorrow, my answer would be completely different. This one could go either way. What my heart is telling me right now is to give it to Alexander Hamilton. I already regret it, but I've made a decision now, and I'm sticking to what I've said. Willkommen versus In the Heights. In the Heights is so good. I actually prefer In the Heights to Alexander Hamilton, which tells you how next round would go if I decide to change my mind and switch out Willkommen. You know what? Screw it. Yeah. In the Heights. In the Heights. I'm gonna say In the Heights beats Willkommen. Why? Don't ask me. I'm having to make snap decisions. This is hard, okay? This is a very hard thing to do. I've got to make calls, okay? And I love all of these. Okay, next round. We're getting towards the finals soon. Road to Hell versus Good Morning Baltimore. Road to Hell. I like it more. All That Jazz versus Ballad of Sweeney Todd. Ooh. Ballad of Sweeney Todd. Oh, it's so good. Personally, I don't think it beats All That Jazz. I don't think it beats All That Jazz. I'm so sorry. Oh, and that means we have no Stephen Sondheim representation in this final. I should have put Sunday in the Park with George on this list. Oh well. Welcome to the Rock or Heaven on Their Minds. If I'm struggling this much at the not even the semi-finals, how am I going to do the final of this? I don't know. Welcome to the Rock is fantastic. It's so good. And it's my favorite musical. And, you know, sometimes you got to let your bias show. If you have a bias, you got to let it show. You got to say and let people know your upfront bias. And I'm biased towards Come From Away. But it's for good reason, because that show is so good. But also so is Jesus Christ Superstar. Heaven on Their Minds is rocky. It brings you on side to Judas. You get the angst and the style of this show. But as always, you have to make a gut decision. And right now, my gut is saying, Welcome to the Rock. Alexander Hamilton versus In the Heights. I already told you how this one was going to go. I think In the Heights is a stronger opening number to the show. I think it sets up more. I think it just slaps. You get really put onto side of all of these characters. You get a really charming introduction to all of them. Whereas Alexander Hamilton only really sets up Alexander Hamilton, you know? And just as a personal opinion, I prefer In the Heights to Hamilton on the whole. So In the Heights, let's go to the semi-finals. Road to Hell from Hadestown versus All That Jazz from Chicago. It's very interesting how this part of the bracket has been a full-on Chicago sweep. Because I just think All That Jazz, not only is it iconic, but it's so good too. The satire of it, oh, it's so good. But Road to Hell as well. I think it's so charming. I think it just brings you in perfectly. I think that it's a musical number that just has so much fun. It's so fun. But personally, I think the one going into the finals for this is All That Jazz. And then we have the other one, Welcome to the Rock or In the Heights. Both of them set up a lot of different characters. Both of them set up a moment in the lives of ordinary people. So it is very fitting that these two have come together. Oh, no, this is why I can't do these videos. I feel like I'm getting grey hair just from deciding between two songs. No! In the Heights is one, Come From Away is one. In the Heights is one, Come From Away is one. Which one is my gut telling me more? Come From Away. I feel like I'm going to send Come From Away to the final. And here we go. Here is our top two. All That Jazz from Chicago and Welcome to the Rock from Come From Away. I'm very proud of Come From Away, coming to the top of one of these fight lists. I don't think it's ever come to the top of a versus bracket before. I'm very happy about that. Let me know in the comments which of these two you think you would pick and what is your overall winner if it is different to mine. As I said, my favorite comments on these videos are always people who just do the full bracket themselves in the comments. And it's so interesting to see how different people pick different things. And look, I know because I've sat through it and done it myself how hard it is. But right now, if you were pushing me to make a decision, I think that the best musical theatre opening number of all time from the 32 that I picked is All That Jazz. Yep, it is official. All That Jazz Chicago sweep. I love All That Jazz. So what is your favorite opening number? What are some opening numbers that I missed from this list? There's going to be so many. I'm telling you right now, there was just no way. There was no way I could do every single opening number of all time. But if we have enough and you want a sequel to this, I can do another one. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. I also have links to other socials and a merch store in the description down below. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.